and your standard continues to increase, right? So like I said, hitting 15 to 20 Rs a monthly goal used to be awesome, right? That was a huge accomplishment. And then last week I had about just under 30 R. It was a 28 R week, right? So like that scale and growth, yeah, is huge, but it's like I want to top that.
Hey everyone, my name is Ayman and I am a moderator at Daytrading. Today we are going to be making a quick introduction here. We have Simon. He is a new moderator at Daytrading. Welcome, Simon.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, Simon, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the video, Ayman, and I'm looking forward to tackling some more recaps and everything together. So a little bit about my background. I am one of the newest moderators on the BBT side of things. I've been with PCT, so Peak Capital Trading, for about half a year now as well, helping various traders in the boot camps develop their trade books and really refine their trading methodologies. As far as my personal professional background, I'm formally educated in business. My previous professional experience was I was the founder and executive of a recreational cannabis company here in Canada. So I reside actually very close to Andrew's home. So he's in Vancouver on the west coast of Canada. I'm based out of Edmonton, also on the west coast in Alberta. So both Dima and I are stationed here. So as far as kind of how I was introduced to the BBT community, of course, like many others, it was through Andrew's awesome books, and then joining the community and really building up my skill set, actually being a member, having joined BBT, I believe it was last August or last September, so of last year. And then ever since then, it was really consuming content and working with AIM and developing my skill set into kind of the trading background that I have today.
That's awesome. So you said you've had a business background. How long have you been trading? Did that business background help you in your trading career?
Yeah, for sure. So my Bachelor of Commerce and now transitioned into a Master's in Finance. It's obviously been a fairly long program. I'd say it helped a little bit on the trading side, more so from like a position basis, fundamentals analysis, and some swing trading. I started swing trading about 2 years ago, but from an intraday trading perspective, I've only been doing that for just over a year, basically a year and a couple months. Since I joined the BBT community, I was intraday trading right before that, so kind of last summer, leading into kind of where we're at today.
So just a year. I mean, honestly, it took me like around 2 years or 2 years and a half to be consistent. So what's your secret? What's your secret in becoming a consistent trader in less than a year?
Yeah, my secret is watch all of Ayman's videos.
Thank you.
Yeah. But to be honest, it was kind of a little bit of a combination of the right exercises and the right practice. I'd say market replay was a huge tool and a huge benefit for me practicing and being able to shorten my learning curve. Right, there's that that kind of that arbitrary benchmark of 10,000 hours to actually master something or master a subject or even begin to master it. And I heavily looked at replay as part of that approach, as opposed to just generating my trading experience and exposure to different setups and different execution practice. I did that after hours. So I've probably to date replayed through at least 1,500 to 2,000 stocks. In addition to all of the work, obviously trading live and so on. So refining the trading plan or my trading plan, developing my trade book well, executing upon this in replay, and then aiming to do that in a quote unquote in-game setting within the live market were really the major things that helped me to success. And then obviously working with Ayman on improving my technical analysis skills. Chart pattern, chart recognition, understanding, and building a belief system around, payoff ratio and risk to reward setups. I think all of these things kind of had that compounding effect that really, really helped me reach consistency basically within, month 7, month 8, and having been consistent since then after kind of the first half a year learning curve.
Oh, that's awesome. And guys, there is actually a keynote here, which I hope you paid attention to. Market replay. A lot of us are just practicing during market hours, and the market hour, it's not a long time. It's 30 minutes to around an hour, then you are just gone. You are doing different things throughout the day. Or maybe if you're a type of trader who's sitting the whole day in front of the screen from 9:30 a.m. till the market close, which is 4 p.m., it's still not the best time to practice during this all time, because market moves differently throughout the day. You can't really practice one simple strategy from the open to the close. It's played differently throughout different times of the day. So one thing which you might want to pick is pick the time frame that you feel comfortable with, and then replay that time frame in a market replay feature. Or maybe if you have it in DAS, or we are launching stock trading simulator, which is free for everyone. Use that tool and practice that first hour a day on hundreds of stocks or tens of stocks, whatever free time you have, and hopefully that will help you becoming more consistent, or at least improving your edge slightly more. So yes, Simon, what's your main strategy right now? Is it the same strategy you picked since you started trading, or you've been modifying it?
Yeah, I'd say strategy is definitely something that evolves, right? You kind of test a few different things, especially in those first 6 months of your learning curve. You need to find something that, at least for your preliminary strategies, fits well with your psychological profile and your personality. As you develop as a trader, you'll definitely add more tools and different setups to kind of your arsenal. But for the beginning, finding something that complements your psychology is very, very key. And I definitely experienced some of that conflict in my early days. I was probably the worst trend trader ever. And I could just not get a grasp on trend trading, and these those ABCD webinars that you did, right over my head, and I would understand it, and then it would come down to execution, recognizing it live, and I would totally botch it. And then I kind of started finding my rhythm with breakouts, and I think breakouts is really the defining moment kind of in my trading career to date, where I started to find consistency. I started to understand the risk to reward, timing my entries, recognizing momentum, looking for those further confirmations, and tools like level 2, reading the tape, and so on. And breakouts is really where I started to evolve from. So that's kind of where I started and where I first found consistency. And by consistently, like we're talking here, hitting 15 to 20 R months was awesome. It was the best month when you're hitting your daily goal and your monthly goal. But I kind of evolved over time, and obviously very similar to your trading style, Eamon, that's evolved. Focusing more on key levels of support and resistance, determining these levels on, the 60-minute, on the daily, looking at larger time frames for a lot of time frame confluence. And now I have that, little bit more flexibility on my trading style, that I'm trading either these levels holding and the bounces off these levels, or the breaks on momentum through these levels. So it's kind of this evolution and development, that breakouts are obviously very much based on key levels of support and resistance. And now I'm just able to kind of expand the trade opportunities that I'm capitalizing on, while still leveraging the skills and strengths that I developed trading breakouts for basically a year. So that's kind of the style that I'm at now. And, it's a lot of momentum plays if I am playing the break of these key levels. And from like a reversal perspective, if you want to call it that, it's really determining those setups on higher time frames and looking for these levels to actually hold and be rejected on the smaller time frames.
Yeah, and it's really fun. Remember, like a few months ago or a few weeks ago, I would say a few weeks ago, like 6 to 7 weeks ago, maybe, where we were happy getting a 1 or 2 hour day and happy getting 15 to 20 hour month. That was goal. That was like something we've been striving to. And right now, getting the 7 hours a day, or maybe the 40, 50 hours a day, is still not even close to the goal. There is greed. You want to get more. And it's totally normal. I wouldn't say it's actually greed. It's our journey. It's how we improve. The more you trade, the better you become, and the more you strive to, right? It's just becoming, you start focusing more on the process, and you're starting to reach your full potential. And there is never a full potential there, right? You're just improving over time. You notice some new stuff, and you just try to implement more into your strategy. So yes, Simon, how about you share with us one of the trades you've taken today?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to. And, just to add to your previous point, I think you hit it right on the head, right? It's like you start to develop these expectations of yourself, right? And you expect more, and, your standard continues to increase, right? So like I said, hitting 15 to 20 Rs a monthly goal used to be awesome, right? That was a huge accomplishment. And then, last week, I had about just under 30 R. It was a 28 R week, right? So like that scale and growth, is huge, but it's like, I want to top that, right? Now you want to have a 50 R week, and you want to look for ways to further maximize your winners and swing these positions and add better to positions. It's this ongoing learning curve where you can kind of challenge yourself. And that's what I really, really enjoy. And obviously what attracted me to day trading in the first place, but even more importantly, to kind of improving my skills related to breakouts. But to dive into a trade here, this is a trade that I literally just took today. I finished today up about 8 R. This trade accounted for 10 R of it, and then I had a couple losers as well.
Half monthly goal, basically.
Pardon?
half of your monthly
Yeah,
goal.
exactly. Half of my old monthly goal, exactly. And the trade was on DKNG. So, what I always kind of do, you can see my traditional layout here. So I'm really focused on zooming out and looking at the big picture as far as the 60 to 5 minute time frames. I build my trade ID off the daily chart. So you can see DKNG had a major area of buying here where price had previously bounced from on the daily chart. I was fairly nimble in this trade idea. As I mentioned, my job is to determine the key level. And then based on the confirmations of what price does at the key level, then I can make decisions on, am I trading this for a momentum break? Am I trading it for a bounce? Or, what's my actual play in the situation? Because given the daily chart, when I first sat down this morning, I was definitely more short bias. And as I was watching confirmations in the pre-market, I definitely developed a long bias. And you can see the level once again here on the 60-minute chart where it's coming from. So you can see where my entry was. The target level that I was identifying was right around here. So this is the pre-market low level at 47.79. You can see a great consolidation on the 60-minute chart when you zoom out. This level is really being respected, and price is being bought up from this level over a large span of basically a couple weeks here. So, like I said, my original trade idea was actually short bias, given a clean downtrend, a nice rejection off the 20 EMA here on the daily. But then what really caught my attention to taking this as a long trade, aside from determining the significant level of support down here, was actually the pre-market. And as you can see here, that key level really aligns well with yesterday low, right around here, and down to kind of where pre-market low ended up being. And when I actually saw in the pre-market, and we can look at the 5-minute chart, we can zoom in the one here, there was a really, really nice fake breakdown. And as soon as it broke that level and went a little bit past it, it was immediately squeezed up. And mind you, I don't trade volume a lot, but there was higher than average volume for what the pre-market was on that individual hammer candle. And then what's even more important than just that one hammer is that then price actually started to hold above the level. So what that tells me is, yes, the daily is short bias, but there's a clear level of support. And now we've tested the level of support and actually seen the buying pressure to really prop up price above it. So that was my confirmation to actually go long. And I entered my position here in the pre-market. I originally actually took half share size, which, in hindsight, both Eamon and I in this trade regretted taking half size with how quickly it popped off in the pre-market. But it was still, the right decision to make. And the reason that was the case is because DKNG had a really, really bad spread in the pre-market. When I'm running a stop that is as tight as this was, so, 47.84 roughly, and my entry is 47.92, we're talking about an 8-cent stop. So when the stock has a 12 to 15 cent spread, that's a really dangerous scenario to be holding full size in case it does flush below the level and momentum pours in. So I was obviously looking for an opportunity to add any confirmation signals of my trade working. So as a little bit more time passed, you could see how quickly price took off here in the pre-market. And then we had a great little confirmation here at the open. So on the 1-minute chart, you could see some uncertainty, but once again, it came down and it retested my entry. And when I actually saw the momentum pour in, I entered with just manually, once again, this was a limit order. This was a manual entry with a hotkey to ride the momentum and the trade idea confirmation that I had off that actual level, holding as support. So I got a little bit of a bad fill. I think the better fill would have been right around here, 48.26, and I was in the mid 30s here, high 30s. But once again, it was a good opportunity to maximize this winning trade, and that's really my goal for this month is trying to drive more and more and more out of my winning trades. And as you can see here, if you actually document out kind of roughly to where my stop was to where my entry was, it was around 10R from the original entry, and then including the add, I ended up just around 10R. I want to say it was like 9.8R that I was able to realize just on this one trade. And yeah, this was the trade that made my day and kind of kicked off my week. My goal, having exceeded my weekly goal that I'd been working on for the last 3-4 months of breaking 20R in a week, and now I really want to just be on pace for 100R a month. So really putting pedal to the metal on ads, on holding more for my profit taking, on leveraging, any level 2 confirmations to take those profits. That's really where I kind of want to take my trading in the future. But yeah, this is kind of one trade for me to recap for you guys today. And obviously, if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to hear if what you want kind of talked about by Eamon and I, as well as what maybe I didn't cover in this little recap that you'd like to know a little bit more about as to why I selected DKNG or why I managed my entries and exits the way I did.
Yeah, what a huge improvement. I mean, going from 15 to 20 hours goals a month to trying to aim for over 20 hours a week. And yeah, that was actually an awesome ad. Me playing DKNG, getting almost the same entry as you got, but not adding was a huge difference in PNL. For example, if we take at my DKNG trade, I'll attach a screenshot around here. You could see that I got a bit of an earlier entry than Simon, but I didn't add. Because of that, I ended my trade with a 6R realized only, with an earlier entry. One single ad played a huge difference, and that popped up the winner from 6 to 10 hours to Simon. That was actually awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Eamon.
So, yeah, thanks. So yeah, thank you everyone. We hope that you actually enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions or any stuff you want to hear from us in the future, please let us know. We'd definitely appreciate if you hit the like button, share, subscribe to our channel, and any questions you have, comment below. That will only motivate us to provide even better content for you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Simon.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Eamon.